Hello everybody, we're back with some more Temtem. Hope I set the category right on Twitch. Yep, alright, we're good. Yes, more Temtem today. So, I still don't have like a set schedule as to what I'm playing every day yet, because I know yesterday I played some Dragon Quest. I actually tried out the PvP aspect of the game, so I kind of got mixed feelings about that. Because it seems like the PvP in Dragon Quest is very luck based. However, there's a lot more flexibility in what you can use than I would have thought. So I'm still going to give it another try. I was actually kind of excited, and I already got about half the team ready, so I might even stream that again tomorrow. Even though I know y'all don't like the game too much, not a whole lot of you follow me there, but one of y'all disliked the video. How could you? At least tell me what I'm doing wrong. No, you don't have to, but I do like to improve, so if there is something wrong with my videos, your streams, just let me know, and I'd like to improve as time goes on. I know something I recently did, as in like the last 2 days, I added thumbnails to the large majority of my videos, so it's a lot easier to identify at least what the topic of the video is, if it's going to be Dragon Quest, if it's just a Temtem PvP stream, or if it's like a best of three from a tournament match or the draft league or something. And then some of the like specialized videos like guides, I have other thumbnails as well. Still hoping to get that speed turning guide out either today or tomorrow. It's probably looking like tomorrow. It'll be soon at least. Okay. And then as for today on stream, we're gonna team build. I came into this stream, I'm like, I want to play some Temtem, but I don't have a whole lot of team inspiration. So I was just thinking back of what is some interesting stuff I've seen lately, and how can I make it more fun. And I remembered that Platt did really well in the world tournament with Arachnite, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, is Arachnite good, or is it just that Platt can make anything look good?" Like he also used Guldur and Volcrane on his team. So I do like Arachnite. I think it's such a cool tem. At the same time, it's a bit tough to use just because of its slow speed tiering and like no ways to buff its speed. I forgot to share like the code of this team last time. I put it in the description of the video. I doubt anyone would really want to use it, but I do think that like the Osakai with any amount of speed scaling is viable, as we saw in the World Tournament. Guldur look like the goat. Have to play it with Gazuma. I was not gonna play Arachnite with Gazuma. I was just gonna play it as a bulky bruiser, kind of in a slower paced team. I don't know how well that's gonna work. I've used it before like that, and it's really nice. Problem is, it just gets ignored a lot. Like I can't get as much use out of something like Water Cannon and Soul Shout because I don't. I could put a hook user on my team and then do the whole side hook combo. I could even throw like a going away gift Hedgen. I don't know how many toxics I'm gonna have, but it's like I'm not gonna hit my own Arachnite with a water move because that would do significant damage just for stab on Water Cannon. I don't know. Put him in your Naga team, but haven't tried it because of Dragon Quest. Where are you at in the story? Because I played yesterday and I finally finished the entire story up and got to try PvP out. And I also want to do Pig. Part of it's just because it's funny, Spider Pig. But also I still like Pig, and I don't think it was fully optimized when I used it. I also may or may not have picked up one of the exclusive Pigapec plushies for like 30 bucks online for myself for Christmas. So we'll see if it actually shows up. I think that this is just the set you're always gonna want to run on your war pig, so that's fine. You're in the beginning, face the ogre in the first area and got trashed. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't tell you about the like area boss mobs until you actually fight it. Making it slow and catching everything. That's definitely a good way to do it. It's just with the weather and the different seasons, you could end up in a single area trying to catch everything for a long while. Okay. Um, did we use Ragnar on a team? I'm trying to remember. I feel like we haven't used Ragnar on a team in a little while. Because it'll probably do well here. Because Electric Custodian will help with pig weakness and sort of Arachnite weakness. Arachnite doesn't have a super bad weakness. I'm not sure what kind of moves we want on him exactly yet. Probably not perfect jab since we've already got a few special attackers. Electromagnetism, it's just like, the move's kind of interesting now, but I don't know why it still traps the user. It's not that good of a move, it's still on a hold. If it was zero hold, maybe I could see a trap. A zero hold trap is kind of valuable. You only got stuff like chains hit and handcuffs. Oh, we'll see. I'll probably change that around. What else do I want on here? Zero hold trap would be busted. I don't know. Would it be though? Like if it was that strong, we'd see people click cage on move flank more often. Um, Actually, you know, we could almost go Zyzer instead of Ragnet. It'd be kind of fun to have Iron Coating rested into Friendship Boomerang sort of combo. Cage on move flank's really good on ladder. I mean that's true, but you still have to have a board state to set it up. It probably would be busted. I was just like you don't see electromagnetism right now. It's on so few tems. It's on like Obi, Hedgen, and Ragnet, and I think that's it. Slow bulky, slow bulky. It's like I do want to put both. Maybe I have both Ragnet and Zyzer, but the problem with that is I'm running out of a whole lot of team slot options. Oh, maybe Darkness. I don't have any real synergies on the team right now. You guys are bigger fans of Unnoticed. I mean, that's fair. Both traits are very similar, I feel like. I'm always a fan of Hurrywart, but I definitely see the use in Unnoticed. I feel like Hurrywart's better against slower paced teams because you don't need the speed and you'd rather have the hold off on Held Anger faster and the spread damage on Bestial. But Unnoticed just gives so much value and puts so much pressure on your opponent in an aggro team. I guess we could do Rolder instead. We don't run Rolder often. I still got, like, I still like Rolder. I haven't used it a whole lot ever since it got gutted after the Rolder meta. That gives us at least more typing to work with. Got to worry about double neutral typing now, though. Maybe add a crystal. No, we'll play Anatan. I love Anatan. Well, hold on. How many feathers do I have? I don't have enough to soulbind. I don't have enough to soulbind the Anatan yet. That's okay. We'll just use non-Luma Anatan. Mr. Older wasn't as bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's weak. It's type chart's just rough. I recently covered it in my in-depth guides revived episode 2. Oh, Reaver, hello, welcome. What other slow bulky tems don't I use often? I know there's Tyrannac. Or I guess what types do I need? Because right now I have kind of a bad earth weakness. Maybe throw in nature. Give Taifu some use. Like Taifu has got to be like towards the top of the list as for potential tems to get reworked. Or sorry, not reworked. It already did. For tems to get buffed. Need Plague Taifu. I think the biggest things holding Taifu back right now are its traits. Safe Retreat needs to be 3 turns of regen, and Natural Conversion needs to not deal 10% less damage. And honestly, maybe it should just be Channeler. Still just a little weird that it's not. Okay. We're looking okay. I've got 3 monotypes. That's probably the limit for what I want. Unless something else looks really good. Not quite sure what else I want to throw in these last slots, though. Like, it doesn't... Since I've got 6 Tems that kind of follow the same game plan, I could throw, like, a fast cleaner on here if I want. Throw, like, an Auhi if I really want. You see Taifu being super meta at some point. Already so AIDS killing it with a Toxic. Oh, it's not like Epoxy ever does that much. But I mean, yeah, I could definitely see it being popular if it gets its defense raised by like I don't know 8 points. Then all of a sudden it's you can't pick on it as much, and that saves it a ton of TVs invested. I mean, Leech already is like stronger water cutting Lily. Heals for half of the damage dealt. Like, I'm a little surprised nobody's tried like a max speed Taifu. Once they fix iridescence, like honestly, I think Windquash with iridescence could be another great partner for Taifu. I tried that before, and that singular combo felt really good in a team. You just need some other stuff that has the same plan that can play around with it. I almost was like, oh, Scarables, but no, Earth weakness. I need a water now. I thought about Babua, but Babua's weakness is just a bit too bad. I could use Piranhient. Love a good Piranhient. Maybe Gario's the way to go. It's a bit simple. Gets the job done though. Melee weakness is a little bad. Maybe Adamental. I was thinking, what if I do like Synergy Master Adoro? But I don't really have a whole lot that can support it. Might just have to be normal Toxic Skin Adoro. Okay. Items. We'll still go good old Nut Bar on Anatan. Rolder pretty much only runs Reactive Vial. Still like Sweatband on Pig. Wardrum only gets like half value since half this team is special. Red max special attack didn't even do that much damage. Well, yeah. It's like if you look at non-synergy leech, that's still less damage than something like a soil steam. Hello, Theria. I still don't really know how to pronounce your name, but welcome. How can you use Lumas in Showdown teams? So you need to own the Luma. It has to be like you're the original owner, or you have to have it soul binded. It has to have all of its SVs at 50, and you have to have all egg moves. So like I can use this Arachnite in the Showdown. However, I do not have Anatan Luma because even though it's perfect and has its egg move, I'm not the original tamer, so I need to soul bind it still. Well, you also need to have all TVs in it, but that's much easier compared to everything else when you're dealing with a Luma. And yeah, it's not a stupid question. It's very reasonable. It's not like they explain it to you in game. uh, Item for Arachnite. It's just like I kind of just want to put resistance badge on it, but I don't know how much use I'm actually gonna get out of it. We'll try it. I'm gonna put handcuffs on the Ragnet just for ultrasound. We'll probably run into some Galeoses as well, so having a double status applier is nice to have. Haifu's kind of interesting. You could throw something like Tuck My Mask on it, help it deal with toxics better. Oh, Chemical, hello! It's been a little while. How's it going? I just go double screen for now. Help it survive a bit longer. Maybe I wanted that on the Adoro. Probably want that on the Adoro. Double screen on the Adoro, and then for now we'll just put Tuck My Mask. That's... nope. There we go. Alright. I like Crystal Spikes on my Arachnites, just because it's only prio option that doesn't require synergy. Token doesn't count. Knockback's also tempting just because of the sheer damage it offers. But it's definitely not a requirement. I'll probably have microwaves just so I can... I don't really need to hit mentals. I can already hit Digi, so it only gives me access to melee coverage, so it's probably not worth it. We'll throw knockback here for now. It still has Cozy Net, which is strong, but since it's so slow, it's not going to get a whole lot of use. If I drop the Roller, I could almost do a... I could actually do a late Torment team with, you know, I got Handcuffs, Cozy Net, Chain Hit, sort of stuff. But we'll just go with this for now. But just know if anyone's kind of building this team with me, you could definitely swap out Roller for Yowler. Got that moveset, got that moveset. Yeah, the movesets are done. Yowler Mimic. No, we don't. I don't want to be like the straight meta. Still got to be some goofy stuff. I actually don't have stamina items on any of these Tems, besides Pig. Have you personal issues due to your new job? Concerning apartment location, stuff like that. The moment things are better, awesome to hear it. I hope things stay better for you and continue getting better. Alright, well, we'll just try 70 Stam. It doesn't include C-Spikes in the rotation. Maybe I should, but it's it would be a significantly more stamina to do that. Good talking for you since you want to use spider. Gotcha. Yeah. Arachnite's so slow, there's not a whole lot of speed break points that's worth hitting on it. Because, like, it's most speed break points for slower Tems tend to float around 162 speed, which is a lot of the base 60s. There's so many Tems from base 60 to base 65 speed in the game. And all of them kind of speed creep each other as well. So I'm just going to save the extra 150 TVs and we're just going to throw in special attack. So, because we get a lot of value from everything we invest in special attack due to the bonus we get with adaptive. 2 extra useless TVs. Pig will go up to 81 stam, just so we can stay on the field a while. We'll max HP and then fill attack. Since it's an all-around slow team, there's no reason to invest any speed. I'll outspeed everything I want to. Ragnet. Got relatively cheap moves. I mean, Electro Punch costs more stamina now. It used to be 22. I could invest up to 69 stamina, which allows me to double Electro Punch into a Paizo. Not that I think I'm going to do that often, but allowing Ragnet to stay on the field for a while can be nice. Once again, though, it's just like I could invest a little bit of speed just to speed creep some of the slower stuff. I'll go like 175. I think that's just a little bit faster than base speed 2 Vine. But let's just have some amount of speed invest and then I can throw the rest in attack. I'm gonna go just grab the roller spread from my video. Because I don't feel like calcing the Tardy Rush speed numbers again. And it's like right there. I just gotta click on the video at the right part. Alright. 497. Probably gonna want to invest more stamina. Okay. Yeah, so if I wanna, well, we'll try it. I'll cry once I get into a fight and I run out of stamina instantly. But until we get there, we're good. Alright, I know this one by heart. Okay, whatever. The Anatan stamina breakpoints haven't changed at all, as far as I know. No, it's supposed to be 150. Yeah. That's one extra point, just doesn't matter. Just leave it. So it looks nice, 500, 150, 350. Oh, a Rolder, that's a little surprising how sometimes there's some which are strong who disappear suddenly. Yeah, I mean, Rolder got nerfed pretty bad, so that's why it just completely disappeared. It's still kind of fun. It gets outclassed by most other Earth types, though, which is probably the main reason why you don't see it anymore. Dang it, I should have left the video open, just grab my Taifu spread as well. I think it was just like, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it, just like 400, 200. Because yeah, you end up with over 300 special attack, which is about what you want to hit, probably. And this really balances out your defenses a little bit and still helps you survive. Taifu doesn't have great HP and has a really rough defense, but has great base special defense, so you can kind of manage. Also, I like Psych for Treat as my trait. I should check all my traits. Yeah, we're good. worry so much about Gario outspeeding Volfies now, or surviving Volfies, because there's not a lot of people running it. So I'm not going to do the full special defense invest to survive a plague or anything. And that speed is to outspeed base speed Scaravolts, and just so that if somebody wants to try and front whip my Gario, they really have to have a lot of speed invest. They can't skimp out. Even if it was a little time away from Temtem in-game streams, you've always watched your videos. Aw. I'm glad to provide content. Hope you're really enjoying it. It's going to be a really bulky team, actually. I haven't run one like this in a while. I'm going to kind of do a similar thing with the Taifu here, except I'm going to have just a little bit less special attack. Maybe this is going to feel worse now that Toxic Skin got nerfed, but it is what it is. You give an extra speed? No. Marco, hello, welcome. Alright. It ain't a perfect team, but we're gonna try it. It would still be nice to get my legend wins, so it's not like I want to do a complete troll team, so that's kind of why I'm holding off on like Lore Weaver's request for me to bring back the mono fire, and probably why I'm avoiding most mono type teams. At the same time, it's just, I don't want to try hard grind all the way back up to legend and try and get my wins. Let's see, I have no idea what the type chart for this team is like. So there's Rat, Tolkien, Mashuk, but if those three happen to be gone, then Taifu actually looks really good. I didn't put any wins on my team, and only have the one mental. So I'm probably just gonna ban Mashuk, especially if Adoro gets banned. Especially if Adoro gets banned. Okay. See? Look. He banned Adoro. I have Warpig. Oh, right. Well, I forgot about that. Either way, it's still a bit rough to deal with. With Toxics with only one wind. Yeah, I don't know his speed tiering, because I could pick Arachnite, but if he Water Blades into a Plague, then I probably just die. I think my best bet's going to be to go Arachnite and then Taifu. Awful Song on the Arachnite. No, I've only got Rolder as a second neutral, so it's still rough. I don't like Awful Song. Every time I've tried it with like Neutral Chromion or Arachnite, I think I've even thrown it on Whiplump for fun one time. It just never performs well. You would rather click high prio moves than click Awful Song. The Isolate doesn't really matter. Even with Synergy, the damage is like 100. It's just like you have a Serbatios that needs Synergy. I knockback instead. I'm running knockback, yeah. But I mean, you also have Water Cannon and Soul Shout as options. Heck, I mean, I think Arachnite still gets Plague. Not that people choose it as an option, but it does learn the move. The double unseen blow, it's so strong if you get the synergy, but pulling it off is so hard. You'd have to have two slow neutral tems survive. And even if that's the case, somebody probably just controls your Arachnite. This is not an Anatan game. It's like 4x resists 2x, 4x, 2x. Big yikes. Right, we're in battle. Skip to a battle theme. Don't need that passive music. No! No, not marbles. Stop. Delete that. Well, now I probably just get plagued into a lava wave. Gives me feathers so I can bind it. Yeah. I definitely want to save Taifu, because Taifu is going to be really good into 2Kai, Zeiser, and Nesla. Even Volfi. I have to kill this Hazrat. But I think this might be a situation of like overload the Taifu. Yeah, he's saving his Hazrat. But that's also kind of weird because if he... Oh, I forgot about Safe Retreat. If he plagues my Arachnite, I'll actually resist Nestle's options, Nestle's moves. So, yeah. I'll also resist Volfi's moves, so now I have a second typing that I wanted. Only reason he should have plagued Arachnite was to kill it with Hazrat. Arachnite's beautiful. Yeah, it is my favorite Luma in the game. Although I've heard a lot of people that don't like it. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's reasonable. Everyone has their own tastes and colors. I know that stuff like the green Lumas get a lot of hate, Orphil and Grumper specifically, and I don't mind them. Maybe it's just because I like the Tems, but lots of people don't like the green Lumas. Luma Arachnite is just like white and red. Both are cool colors and they look really nice together. Wait, was that that looked like a Lumbra? It's a Luma 2Kai with the Umbra effects. I didn't know that transfers to battle. That's funny. Also, we just canceled out the quicksand with our turbo, so that was a really good turn for us. Okay, Arachnite, due to the plague, is out of stamina now. I'm gonna bring in Taifu. Throw an Oshidashi at Volfi. Just to get some damage on it. Potentially put it in range to die to something later. Sevda, hello, and thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Volfi swap. Into the Hazrat. Okay, so getting the Osha here was really good, because that'll put it in boomerang range. But it also means that I'm going to have to swap out Taifu instantly again. Marbles. Oh, that seems kind of like a bulky Hazrat. I'm not 100% that the boomerang is going to kill. Question is, does he swap to Nesla or does he stay in? I'm going to guess he'll swap again. Ah, he stayed in this time. Ah, he's predicting like everything I want to do. Spreader 2-Kai outspeeds and kills. That's so sad. Taifu was really good in the end game here. And that's like a min speed 2-Kai. Sharp Rain. Taifu surviving the initial hit at least gives me... Since Spreader activated, I took reduced damage on Pig, which is nice. I still want Arachnite to get some more stamina back. It is a great defensive type to end out the game. Yeah, we see Nestle brought in, which I think is fine. Could very easily be a swap to Zyzer or Volfi in the 2-Kai slot. Which, like, it's not good, but not the end of the world either. I'm kind of just buying time for Arachnite to end out the game. I don't know if it can, especially with stam control from Volfi. But if I can take down one, maybe two more Tems, then I think I'll be good. Okay, so he stayed in on both. He's just letting 2-Kai die here. I don't think that's the correct decision. That damage on Roller does hurt, though. Because now I'm definitely in range to die to an Aquatic Whirlwind. I can try and Hypno the Volfi, but that's likely not going to end well for me. Ah, I was close to surviving. I could have sacked Pig that turn and then brought in... Ah, wow, double kill. That was a rough turn. He was able to do enough chip damage on most of my Tems so that I was in range of dying to everything. Probably shouldn't be clicking knockback here either, but I wanted to make sure that the Volfi goes down. Even like once the Zyzar comes in, a rested stone ball, even resisted, is still gonna hurt a lot. Yeah, so Unseen Blow definitely wouldn't have killed. But I wasn't able to take that recoil. Just had too much for Arachnite to try and pull off here. And I don't have Soul Shout or anything. 221. I mean, I can take one more, but I'd have to one-shot it with a knockback, which isn't possible. We'll try it. Maybe it's a 0 bulk. And for anyone like, oh, he used his prio now, he would have outsped the stone ball. He could have just clicked rockfall. Especially since I'm -2 now. Because I was -2 speed from the quicksand the Wolfie used. Yeah, I mean, that was relatively close. It was. GG's. A turn with the Saipat staying in. Or no, not the Hazrat staying in. When I tried to kill it and stayed in on Taifu, that was what changed the game. If I saved Taifu could have ended out that game because Leech would have healed it after every attack. Which would have given it the sustain to end the game. It's just that Taifu was my win con, and I thought he would play around that and save his Hazrat, because that was his win con. And instead, he happened to guess right. Oh, match against Kunders. Looks like he's got everything annoying on his team. He bans the Roller. I'm gonna ban the Galio. So it's like we had most of us who participated in the Tems have kind of avoided playing Galio since it's banned in the Tems. So we haven't got to play with it much. So it's usually when people haven't gotten to play with something lately, I like to allow them to. So I was gonna let him play with the Gallios, but it's just you can't have Gallios and Waspin on the same team and expect me not to ban your Gallios. Workman, hello, welcome. You found the truth, novice punch slingshot, Fizzinky. I like it, I like it. I've heard that before, especially when Wolfie was meta. It's just like what are the how much damage can it do? And I think if you have like a Hakamawala next to it for just maximum damage output, I think it does like 80-some%. So it's still just a bit rough. But it would be kind of fun to play with next to a Hakamawala specifically. I have to ban Scaravolt because if you would choose to ban Gario, I would have nothing left to kill a Scaravolt. I think I want Taifu. Maybe I didn't, but it's there now. I'll pick Adoro. You killed a Turok and Wolfie while swapping in Brocklark. I mean, if you're finishing something off, for sure. I'd imagine it only does like 40% to Turok, though. Super rough. Alright, so Anatan's going to be really good into the back end of the team. No! Why? Why do you have marbles on your Schween? No! Marbles is Seriously, when are they gonna nerf marbles? Why is it not on anyone's radar? It's just a stupid item. The amount of value it gets in a single game is more than like any other item. Because if you're increasing damage by 10%, like something like Fire Chip or Resistance Badge, you would have to deal. Let's see, marbles just got value for 21, 23, almost 50 health. If that's your 10% damage, you'd have to deal like 500 health and damage with neutral moves during a match for marbles to get more value. And that's assuming I don't swap and allow the marbles user to get more value and ignoring the stamina. Marbles as an item is far too overtuned. Seriously. It's like I swap in Gary. Oh, he swaps out his. Swaps out the Vulkier. I guess he was afraid of a water cannon. I didn't think about that. Yeah, this thing's got an up bar. I've got a Doro, so it's not like I'm completely helpless against it, but it still sucks. I don't have any buff wipers or anything of the sort. It doesn't do much, and he gives me my type. I just swap out now. He's watching my video and is wondering if my Twitch name is the same as my live. That is correct. Yeah, I make it easy for you. Hello and welcome. Thank you for the follow. Which video are you watching? The in-depth guide, I'm assuming? Maybe not, but it seems to be a popular video right now. Always one of my better ones. I guess I have the YouTube link to my Twitch now, but I don't have my Twitch link to my YouTube. Or, no, the other way around. PvP rants and discussion? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's a comebacker Yowler. Vulkier. I did stay in on the Gyarados, so I can still apply some pressure. Receptive with the... That's kind of interesting. I like that. So, I mean, Vulkier has Stone Trench up. Is Stone Trench enough to kill me? No. No, it's not. But it will do a lot of damage. Browser just got back into the game, finally getting into PvP. Awesome, awesome. Well, I got a lot of good guides out there. Well, I guess not that many, but I got a couple of good guides out there if you need any specific info. Otherwise, yeah, just watching and learning that way is a great way. For sure. I think the next stone trench will kill me though, which sucks. But it's not like he's free to stay in. I'm not 100% that I'd be able to kill him at this health. Volcrine, I know that's kind of crazy because it's a 4 times move, but if he's heavily bulk invested and uses cooperation here, it could be tough. Definitely could be. Okay, so he just swaps out. Let's Waspine take a hit. Oh, he double swaps. That's a good play. Yeah. Yeah, there's two buffed up. I can't deal with it. You know, it's only +2 defense, I'm +3 attack, and it still took 25% from that. And Royal Jelly. Big yikes. He just finds a time to swap in his Volcrine, get Stone Trench back up, buy him the last turn he needs until Extinction, and then he wins. I don't even know if I really wanted the Toxic Skin on Yowler, but I'd already to hit well, so it's the main thing that matters. He stays in on both. Because it's not like Adoro can even touch the Waspine. I needed to deal with the Shveen faster. Yeah, look at that. I mean, I have low special attack invest, but I still did like 10%. This is going to do even less. Okay, it does like the exact same. Yeah, I'm just going to forfeit here. I have no way to win. Yeah, this is not a team that has a lot of momentum that it can face a slow, bulky team like that. It's more meant to be a counter to... Or, I mean, there's always kind of like a rock, paper, scissors almost of... Fast-paced teams usually beat stall teams like that, so like hyper aggro. Mid-range... Or then bulky aggro, kind of like my team, beats hyper aggro because we have enough damage and health to survive. To survive the hyper aggro hits and then kill them because we don't need speed. And then kind of mid range beats bulky aggro. But also like stall beats bulky aggro. I don't know. Bulky aggro feels kind of bad. I know that's what Lion's kind of been saying in comp chat lately. It just doesn't see a lot of representation. The bulky aggro we see nowadays is just a lot of toxic spam. Its stall is more or less turning into a hybrid mix of bulky aggro and stall, and that seems to be the design that Crema wants for the game. But it's tough. Looks like Dahone's back though, with his original name, so that's kind of interesting. Welcome back, Dahone. You know, Gario looks super strong here. Taifu also looks pretty solid. Oh, roller band. I wonder if he'll try and do something like break my evasion and then stop gravel bag with rotten goo on the Gario. It won't work on tempo though. It would have to be next turn that he's able to disable it. So bring the Arachnite and the Pig. They're kind of the focal point of the team. My last two options, neither of them are all that good. I'll bring Ragnit just because it offers support. Coonders, GG. Yeah, stall team is not what I want to face with this. Yes. It'd be great if my Garia went first. I don't want to. It doesn't matter. I can just Hypoxia and Soil Steam. That should kill. Oh, Synergy Rotten Goo. Pain. I have Safe Retreat, so it's still fine. Especially if I can kill the Tort here. Which it looks like I can. Definitely a special attack, offensive Tortonite variant. Synergy Leech. And we'll just use Rockfall because Inky dies anyways. Ooh. I was kind of close. Aquatic with drill damage definitely helped us survive. I wonder if it's a mildly bulky Inky. It didn't seem like it did as much as it probably should have. But Taifu's back up to full health now. Yeah, no, Inky still dies. I guess Gario's just broken. It's my Taifu spread. The same one I did in the in-depth guide. GG. It's like 400 HP, 200 defense, 101 actual stamina, and then rest and special attack, which is like 300. Glad we got promoted off of that, because... Oh, no, I had got demoted, but I skipped past and then got re-promoted, I guess. Yeah, I mean... Mono Nature is one of those types where your opponent probably has at least 3 counters. But if you can eliminate those counters, it can really pop off. Kind of like how Cerny functions too. It's just Toxics are so popular right now. Nature's not exactly a type you want to be running. Taifu at least Hypoxia so it can punish them, but it's not that great. Yeah. Ninja, hello, welcome. How's it going? Pretty good, pretty good. I just put a whole bunch of really bad Tems on a team, and I guess I should update the win rate, because we did win a match. Put a bunch of bad Tems on a team. We're trying it out. They're not all bad, but like a Pig, Arachnite, Rolder, Taifu, even sort of Anatan, and even Ragnet. Questionable. Burning my food? Yeah. No, I haven't had a whole lot of really unique, like, team ideas lately. I feel like I've tried most of what I want to do. I almost did an Avenger team with Tental, because I do that about once a patch. And Tental even just got buffs, but it's at the same time, it's just, every time I try and use Tental, it feels bad. +2 special attack really just, it's not as much as it sounds like it is. Because even with Arachnite, most people can reasonably build to take 3 hits on their mid-range Tems. Or like, it'll be a 3-hit KO. So with Adaptive, you can change that to a 2-hit KO, which is valuable. Especially if you don't have to give up any momentum to do it. However, if Arachnite dies before it gets a second hit off, it doesn't matter anyways. There's probably a specific breakpoint. It's probably one that Platt figured out that just allows you to have just enough bulk to survive to get that second hit off and still have enough damage in your build to actually finish off the Tem anyways, but this is my first time experimenting with Arachnite in a little while, so I don't know what that would be offhand. Sack Avenger combo seems really good, but like stated before, these stashes aren't up to... Well, so the Sack Avenger combo, even back before all of the... Even before all the stat influx in the game, the big thing was that if you're sacking onto a Tental, you have to kill something, otherwise Tental gets doubled in. So even if it's +3 in both defenses, you're still taking 2 hits. You'd rather have that second Tem there applying pressure. The most success I had with Avenger teams is having Tental on a board with something else that applies just as much, if not more, pressure than it. Because if you have Tental next to, like... Well, my favorite combo used to be next to a Slingshot Osakai. Because if you let Osakai get a hook or 2 off with Slingshot, +4 attack, +2 speed, it's going to scale faster and better than Tental. You can't just let that be, so you have to kill the Osakai. So Osakai gets value from everything it wants to do, and then Avenger procs, and Tental gets to do what it wants to do. So that was kind of how I went around it. But now Slingshot's nerfed, and there's not a whole lot of stuff that applies immediate pressure. You could probably try it next to like a Tireless Mashuk. That's about the closest equivalent in the current meta. And I mean it's probably its best partner. You could probably still run Zenith with it. I do still like the Wrecked Farewell Adrenaline Shot Zenith combo for it. But even then, it's more or less a meme. It's fun, but it's not good. And I still want to try and get my legend rewards before I really start trying some strategies that I know I'm going to lose with. What's the global idea behind the team you're using now? There wasn't a whole lot of an idea. I was kind of running low on inspiration today. I just picked a tem I wanted to run, which was Arachnite, and let's do some other stuff with it. Which one of them is Pig, because I still like Pig. I haven't really been able to pull off a lot of combos with Pig with this team yet. I think Pig's probably just going to be more of a mid-range team support. I don't think it's going to be good for bulky offense. I just say this team I'm running right now is overall a bulky offense team. Pretty much all the tems are just slow, high HP and bulk invests with as little attack as I can get away with. Is it working out? Not really, but I'm getting to use some tems I don't use often, like Roller and Taifu, Arachnite, so... I mean, I kind of like force those tems into the slots. I wouldn't have to use them. It's just like, oh, I want a nature type for my type chart. Oh, I haven't used Taifu in a long time. Maybe I'll use Taifu. When obviously, if I want like a good slow nature type, I just use like Saku here. Almost got you buying a pig on radar yesterday. You changed my mind real fast. Pig radars are awful just because of Fainted Curse. You pretty much have to have Ironac and then a Chain Lightning user. Probably Grumper, just because it 4x resists, because Nestle's trait would also be turned off. But even then, it only works so long. Then you gotta go like double Nestla and just heal off the damage with two Chain Lightnings. Goaty. Hello, Mr. Goaty. You're Koish. It's bugged. Probably. Maybe it's not. He's got like 3 Toxics for synergy, but it looks like it's just a stall team where he's taking advantage of people banning Koish to just get his other stuff through. It's another stall team, though. Yikes. I don't want to find out. Looks painful. I don't see why you would have a Synergy Master Koish on a team that's this slow. That's why I changed your mind. The last you did took like 30 minutes more than the usual radar because the Tyra. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my Luma pig, I just bought it off the auction house. And then soulbound it. I'd rather spend an excess of feathers on the pig itself than try and do anything else. I'm gonna pick pig. Even if you pick Scaravoltier here, I've got 2 earths to threaten it out. Grendor doesn't have any immediate threats. Luma Pig was your first Psypark Luma. That's a good way to do it too. The only Luma I've gotten cursed with in Psypark was Platox. And I already had a Platamus by then, so I was quite sad. Nimble on Pig for Arachnite shenanigans? No, I could. I just have Turbo though, which still works. Also have Bamboozle. Make it a mental type, immune to sleep, for fun. Okay. So it's kind of interesting. He's threatening out Rolder and Taifu. I can still pick my Gario. Like I'm a lot not facing it though. More for fun of having an evil pig than anything. That's true. And I haven't looked at all the Umbra sprites exactly. It's mainly just common ones people use. But I saw the Umbra Hazrat, and it looks awesome. Because one of the areas where it glows, or every time glows, is its eyes. And Hazrat's eyes are so massive and menacing. It's just, it really looks cool. I want to boomerang Soil Steam this Garunder turn 1, but I'd have to ban. I could just ban. I'll ban Volerand. Pick a Doro. Because I want a Doro. It counters Nidosil and Yowler. He's forced to pick one of them. It also counters Baba, so it's just a good pick. Seen Umbra Volgon. I have seen the Mythicals, but those are just like a pipe dream. I can't convince myself to even want it because I know that it would only bring pain. I don't think that Ragnar's gonna get a lot of use here. Sad they didn't do anything fun for with. There's a lot of Tems I wish they did more with. I feel like they kind of went on the safer side with a lot of Umbras. I think they could have done way more with the glowing areas. It seems really weird for some of their choices. Like, why does Raiken's forehead marks glow, but then not something like, I don't know, Pigapek's snout, Agario's little, oh, what do you even call that, mane? Can a salamander have a mane? Mudskipper? You prefer to have an Umbra Oshiara than a Luma because the Luma's ugly, but those are rare cases. Not a fan of the way Umbras look. Yeah, that's kind of the general consensus and not much changed. Or maybe even like Gario's little cheek marks. Why can't those be glowing? Maybe they are. I guess I don't know what Gario's full Umbra looks like offhand. Love them because they remind you of Pokemon. Like the Shadow Pokemon. Yeah. Idrisil. Okay, I gotta pay attention to how much the boomerang does here. 38%. So I will not kill with one more. The cheeks don't, gotcha. That's disappointing. I mean, he's just swap his Nidosil again into Babwa. Okay, a little disappointing, but like understandable. I double swap to a Doro and Taifu next turn, and that's still fine with me. I love that friendship doing an extra 2 damage because I'm just tickling the Babwa. Umbergara is basically dark purple all over the body with glowing eyes. Yeah, this is, you could have done more than just the eyes. There's a lot of cool stuff you could do. I should have reversed that swap. Swapped in Taifu to the pig slot and Adoro to the Gario slot. Oh well. Well, you know, with a team this slow pace, I should probably also have Divine Inspiration instead of Turbo on the pig. It's because it's just like you can make a Gario or a Daifu as fast as you want, and it's still not going to be threatening. Yeah, Taifu definitely should have been the one to eat those hits because it can heal with safe retreat. Oh well, oversight on my part. It's just fine for a Denigrate turn. And I just Hypoxia the Gario. He's gonna swap Gario for sure. It would still be kind of crazy to keep Baboa in, but I think there's a world where he might. But Gario has more use and is low on stamina. It's just a question, does he swap it into Garunda or Nidrasil? I don't know which Tem is going to swap in where. I'm predicting the Garunda to swap in Baboa. Yeah. And then Nidrasil to swap in for Gario. Could have made the Fin purple and it would have been 10 times better. Fen, yeah, that's probably what it would be. not a main. It's just my idea trying to get the point across. I hope that the Denigrate kills the Nidrasil. That would be nice, but I don't know. It probably doesn't. Oh, it does. It does. Good, good, good. I got that prediction right then. I'm swapping Adora out for sure. I want to keep it around for Yowler. Although he'll probably swap in Yowler now. In a really nice spot? Yeah, for sure. I can just stay in a Bark Shield on Taifu. And with Tukma Mask after the Bark Shield, I don't think he'll be in any position where he can kill Taifu. So he brings in Baboa. I will swap out Theodora then. I will. Well, um, started comp in DQ. Yes, I just started yesterday. I have mixed feelings about it. He's got beef up. Okay, that can be problematic for sure. Yeah, so as far as comp goes in Dragon Quest, there's far more viable monsters in the meta than I would have ever imagined. But at the same time, a lot of the mechanics in the game, and I mean a lot, are completely luck based. So you have very little agency over whether you're able to win or lose a match. But I mean, there's enough variety that it's almost like I don't know. We'll see once I make a team that can kind of fit into the meta a bit more. How that feels. I'm still working on it. Now that I have the increased metal monster slime rate, it's a lot easier to farm XP and stuff. And level 100 just makes scouting so much easier. Probably not going to come back and chat today. Going to eat and keep the stream in the background. Sounds good, Ninja. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. And enjoy the rest of the stream. Yeah, I don't mind losing Gario here. When I swapped out Adoro, I had to think about like what Tem didn't I mind losing, and the one I decided on was Gario. Got the guy off, back to full stam. I'm bringing Roller here because Gario's dying to a leech before it gets to do anything. I know I'm faster because when I had Gario v Gario earlier, and my Gario was already faster. On the very off chance that this Gario survives, I'm drill impacting it. I don't have a turn 1 Earth move to kill Garunder with anyways. I'll just smack it with Rockfall next turn. Should take it down. If it doesn't, that's also whatever. Taifu with a Bark Shield up and Leech and whatever healing. I still have Safe Retreat as well. So if Taifu does get low, I can swap it and get lots of healing. So I'm in really good position to close out the game. He just swaps out as Garunder. So doubling into the Gario is good for me. Yeah, Gario never survives that. Oh, we Rockfall and okay. GG. Ifu Roller putting in work. Let's go. I know some people don't like it, or I should say, I really like New Leech. I think it's a really cool move to have something so unique in the game. I know the Pokemon has quite a few life-stealing moves, but it's as an option in Temtem, it's the only one. I think there should be another. I I know the people have said that there should be a healing move that's based off the attack stat for a while now. Maybe like a fire type one. Because I think we would be able to see more fire type supports if they had more options outside of just being burn bots. Just an idea though. Nightmare Feed and Swarmade I wouldn't say count because they're more just like they don't heal based on a percent of damage that you deal. It's just a straight health transfer. It's more like pain split. Voltaic charge that is I forget about voltaic charge actually, but that's not really an attack, but it does count. Maybe I should just do like a full lifesteal team. Throw Leech and both voltaic charge Tems and maybe like a Nightmare Feed. Even though it doesn't really count, it kind of does. Just throw them all together for a team. It would be fun. No Earth types. Anatan immediately on my radar. But Saipat, Raiken, and Skunch are then the problems. I have more. I think I'm gonna ban Skunch first because he's got stuff like Inky that can threaten out Adoro immediately. And I don't want to be forced into an Inky Adoro board. I wouldn't have a whole lot that could deal with it. Run raid boss Golzy on one of your teams that has voltaic charge. Yeah, Golzy's it's a bit. I feel like it's a bit tough to run raid boss because its defenses are so frail and its defensive type sucks. Every board it wants to be on offensively, it doesn't want to be on defensively. Is it possible to get Umbra and a Tan? Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? It's gonna be like the second or the fourth hardest thing to get in the game, only behind the Umbra Mythicals. So I cannot recommend attempting to grind for one in the slightest. But technically the option's there. You've seen Raid Boss Golzy before? I've seen it a few times for sure. But you're investing probably like let's just say you have 500 TVs in HP, and 500 TVs in HP, and you take so you're able to survive a crystal spikes at like 30% health. Then you get your voltaic charge Oshidashi off and finish off the crystal, basically one shot the thing, and you heal back up to 55%, and you still die to the next attack because you're barely above half. It feels like those are just random numbers. It probably wouldn't work out perfectly like that. And that's assuming you already have the hold off of Oshidashi, and that your opponent has a full health crystal to heal you back. Draining the Taifu. Pick Arachnite just so that he doesn't think like, oh, he's not immediately picking Anatan. I just double into the Saipat turn one, and Anatan can sweep pretty much everything else. Probably. Pig looks like pain here. Electric, potential electric, another potential electric. Ragnet at least offers a bit more support with Hypno. Let's see. Don't have anything that really wants to take this double in, so whatever. We'll just click the buttons. I don't know if this kills. Like, Adoro has it has pretty low special attack. It doesn't have a whole lot. Saipat's defensive stats are decent, and Rolder also doesn't have a whole lot. I don't have Reactive Vial, so he can't like Tesla Prison into an attack next turn with Saipat to threaten me. Ah, he knows he's swapping the Saipat. Not like Ash wants to take this either, though. Why? Why? He's not even attacking the Adoro? That's fine, I just Rockfall and then swap Adoro now. Hello, whoever's in the stands. And Eddie Moon, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. I'm going to swap in Arachnite, predicting the crystal spikes, because I think being a crystal type in this matchup is more valuable than most of the other available types. I can resist the electric moves from Gazuma, and Zalbian, Arachnite. Yeah, see? I also get stab on my own crystal spikes, which can potentially just knock out Gazuma after the Rockfall here. Okay, nope, that's a bulky Gazuma. I hate Gazuma. I love it. I love his design. It was like Gazuma was one of the Tems that when I saw it in the original Temtem Kickstarter, I was like, man, I'm gonna like this game. It's just because I like bug types, but it's I love Gazuma's design. But man, is that thing just such a pain to deal with in the meta. Should not have that much defense. Yeah. It would be really funny to swap into Ragnet and get Synergy Earthbreaker right now. uh, so that only does neutral damage. Probably going to take a Tornado here, though. Oh, Hurricane. That's going to be close. I think I can take it. Oh, yeah, see, that's a 0 special attack Gazuma. I'm really surprised to use Telekinetic, though. I could have just T-Striked his Albion and one-shot it. Yeah, nice. Stab Crystal Spikes +2. Click the button. I believe that my speed is calced so that after Tardy Rush procs, I'm able to outspeed Saipat. Unless I accidentally have the wrong trait because I don't remember seeing it proc, which should feel bad. This doesn't, yeah, no, it definitely procced. Okay, well, it doesn't kill, but that's still fun. And I also knocked out his his Schweetshorn, so this is gonna do 0 damage. Earthbreaker's such a fun move. Cyberclaw, I don't care about any amount of damage on Ragnet. It does like nothing for me. I just want to kill Saipat. He's even leaving Roller alive, so I still get more damage off with it. Yeah, okay. I actually OX again if I. That's kind of sad. Maybe I do need a bit more stam on this set. Filings would have gone hard for sure, for sure. It's kind of situational. It's like sometimes the move is better than anything you could ever want to click, and other times the move is just like, why am I running this? That is a super fast Albion. I know it's got fast charge, but still. It's adaptive, but I hit it with a neutral move, so it's still digi neutral type. And I outspeed, so rip Arachnite. Ragnet rolled her OP. New meta. Yeah, it's like a 500 HP, 500 speeds Albion. He's doing 0 damage, but he's taking hits. Ah. GG. Tardy Rush OP. It's fun to win with Tems that you don't normally see. I know Ragnet saw a fair bit of representation at the World Tournament. but it's always just kind of a unique slot in. It's not super splashable. Does pair relatively well with Scunch though. Both have similar playstyles. Kind of work as P-Job bots. You can P-Job on Ragnet for Scunch Wrenching Massage, and you can P-Job on Scunch for Ragnet Sparkling Bullet, if you want. Another match against Dahone. Garyoban. Okay. I don't want to pick Arachnite and Ragnet. But then Garyo's gonna be a problem. Oh well. Yeah. I just freely pick Taifu there because there's literally a Mastion staring me down, and Taifu doesn't even have any immediate nature pressure. Did we match before? Yeah, I just played him like 2 matches ago. Banning Nesla, predicting a Taifu ban. Guess he's not falling for it though. Anatan, if I can get rid of this lead, will do a lot of good for me. If he swaps off with this lead at all, it's just going to be super good. I guess the question is, does he swap Mastion turn 1, or does he stay in? Gario marbles, why? Why? Yeah, he stayed in. He's faster as well, so I don't get Synergy Electro Punch, which feels kind of bad. Turns me into a fire type. I do get the +2 Unseen Blow though, which hurts really bad for a max speed Mastion. Arachnite goes down, but so does Mastion, which is a worth trade for me. Marbles ruins your focus sash. Alright, we bring in Pig. Yep, Tortonite coming in makes complete sense. Alright. This should put us in really good position. Because I can threaten out the... Oh wow, it survived, okay. Ragnik goes down here. But now I can bring in Taifu and threaten Tortonite. And Gario. I don't have Dust Vortex on this Taifu, unfortunately. Now it's kind of a guessing game of is the Inky gonna Bright Beam or not? Warwick, hello, welcome. Yeah, it did Bright Beam. It did so much damage. Scrim, sure thing, after this. Quartz Dirt Trap. Didn't think about that, that's good. I can't swap the Taifu either. Probably just die to a T-Strike at this health. I wanted to swap it out after I got the Bark Shield up so that I could get safe retreat, but that's no longer an option. If Taifu lives this, I think I win. Not quite, though. I mean, honestly, that damage isn't crazy bad. Okay, well, I just lose because of marbles. Darn, that's a shame now, isn't it? If he's going places, not many but places. And Taifu put in some work in some of the other matches, just not this one. Early grave. It could have been worse. If Taifu had survived the T-Strike, this game would have gone completely different. Live, big live! No. Marble's getting giga value. Yeah, no, it's a crazy move for sure. Or item. No item should get that much value ever. Yeah, even if I got the Oshi, it didn't matter. Probably could have Oshi into Boomerang, and that would have finished off the Garia. And I could have cleaned up the game against Tuvine, but nah, GG. I mean, if my Tems had the health from marbles that they lost, I probably would have been. He's the same rank as me. I probably would have been able to survive a lot more stuff. He's literally opting for marbles over gravel bag on a Tem like Gario. if you're not running gravel bag, you have to run clay ball, which is like 60 BP, when soil steam is 115. So you're basically having the damage on your primary earth stab, believing that you'll get more value with another item, which is insane. It's not the first time I've seen it either. Like seeing marbles on a move flank is crazy to me because move flank is one of the best users of resistance badge. Like move flank only clicks neutral moves, so every time it does, it gets value with resistance badge. But opting for marbles instead because it just increases your damage more. Okay, well, we're facing a stall team now. Not often that you see Piranha and Sun stall teams anymore, so that's cool. You take out the Nid so that frees up Haifu. It's insane on typing with little weaknesses. Not necessarily. All right, like Gazma. Okay, yeah, yeah. So Gazma's another term that utilizes it a lot. Same with Hazrat. Stupid item just gets too much value. If I wish people just kind of understood how strong it was, so that I wouldn't have to go in and spend a whole bunch of time trying to math it out. My biggest problem is like I want to make a comp feedback post asking them to nerf marbles, but I'd have to do a whole bunch of actual math, get some practical video and reasons why it should get nerfed, and even then, it's not. People would probably be like, "Well, yeah, it probably could get nerfed, but not before Mom's Lunch does, or some of the other more broken items." And I'm just like, "This it's not just I don't know. Why can't you nerf more than one thing in a season, please?" Van Tortonite. Taifu's relatively freed up now, but at the same time, it doesn't like being on this board. People are too used to it, and it's nice. I mean, aggro teams. I I don't think that aggro team's best tool should be a singular gear. Just like how stall teams' best tool shouldn't be Mom's Lunch. It's the gears should not have that much impact on games. If you want something to have a lot of impact, you should have to take a turn to use it. That's why you look at stealth rocks in Pokemon. Like it's a different game, yes, but people in doubles don't click stealth rocks. It's really good in singles, but people don't click it in doubles because you can't waste a turn clicking a move like that. The fact that marbles is free value is nuts, and that it happens on entry. Like stealth rocks doesn't happen like at the start of battle. It only happens on swaps, so you can at least have limited counterplay to it. I don't know. It's just like sometimes it feels like Crema wanted to copy so many aspects of Pokemon that a lot of things feel cookie cutter, and then you get some things where they try and make it a bit more unique, stand out from Pokemon, and then it just flops because it's just a bad idea. Also, I'm sorry. I realized I just started another match. Completely forgot about the scrim. That is a bad habit of mine. I need like a bigger notification on my screen. Like after this match, do this. So it's like most of this time when I have stuff to do, I put on a post-it note. But that's just like, oh yeah, I'll look at this sometime. Well, safe retreat should not proc when you're full health. That's stupid too. That's really good damage. He actually doubled the Arachnite, so I could have stayed in. That's interesting. I thought he would have just tried to knock out Taifu because it literally destroys Piranha, Kaurin, and Volfi. I'm using Chains Hit over Crystal Bite just to ensure the trap and also in case of a Volfi swap. I mean, it could be Piranha swap and I'd wish I clicked Crystal Bite, or maybe he'll just stay in. Don't know. Chains Hit's also less stamina, so it's whatever. Okay, it's a Piranha swap. Piranha does not like taking this. It is energy reserves, so that's bad for me. If Arachnite can survive the suplex... Okay, so maybe it's one of those toughen yowlers. It's kind of what it's looking like. I don't know why I didn't T-strike there. I'm like, oh, what if he swaps? I completely forgot I actually just clicked to prevent swap. So I hope this just kills. Okay. Now, I didn't make a mistake. No, it didn't happen, for sure. Kind of sad for Arachnite to die. But it's okay. Yeah, Goron comes back in. Doesn't have first aid kit or nut bar. So that's super helpful. Oh, it has baton pass. I'm like, yeah, it's got to have some sort of healing item. Rush is an interesting choice. Now I probably just survive the turn. Turn 4. Yeah, there's tough. I still have Taifu for a special attacker. Using Crystal Bite here because I actually want Anatan to get knocked out. Oh. I thought he would use Hook Kick there, honestly, but this is fine. Hibernate's whatever. Gorong's down. We use Hypoxia this turn. And Bamboozle. Because what I am predicting is a Winter's Call. And if I can avoid that on Taifu, that would be very useful. Because it's Clinch, Toughen, Hibernate, and a Winter Call. Yep. He's running low on stamina. Just rest on Pig here, that's fine. I have Bamboozle for as long as Pig's alive. This is the time where I wish I had Divine Inspiration instead of Turbo. Should probably change that after this. Swaps out the Yowler, probably just to get some stand back, which is completely fair. I forgot for a moment that this thing's going to click Roar. No, I click Psychosis. He has to swap Karen, right? No, he stayed in! No! Hey, Volfi, I think you should actually Plague the Roller. That sounds like a really good idea. Petrify, huh? No Roar Stare. Yeah, that's what... Petrify is always kind of weird. I was afraid of a Roar this whole time, but it probably just doesn't have it. Wolfie goes down, no more heal. It's a Scavenger Cowering too? Really? So many of them opt for Skull Helmet now. Yeah, I mean, I just lose. It was just kind of like info diff. Psychosis, Soil Steam, Stonewall. Petrify. Petrify is one of the best moves now for control install. I don't know, I haven't seen it get a whole lot of use. Wow, that just does nothing. I guess the Stonewall, that's why. Forgot I got that already. And then he just doubles into the Pig and I got nothing. Yeah, I kept predicting him to swap back to Yowler after he got the Volfi in. And then I wasn't expecting it to be Scavenger either. This is like, no. When you're playing as a stall team or when you're playing against a stall team, there's so much of your match that's determined by how much info you have. It's a lot like in a best of three situation. You can play you gain knowledge and you can play around that. But in ladder, it's so hard to know. I would never have swapped out my Taifu. Well, I guess I probably still would have because of Doom, but all right, yeah. Well, good luck, have fun. Adaro, definitely gonna ban the Mashuk then. Arachnite's really good here, just in general. Kind of tempted to pick Pig as well. Tech exposed, no. I mean, whenever you look at the seed, or you can look at all moves that are low prio, and you're like, wow, this can combo. So it's not that surprising. Problem now is my Arachnite gets hooked, and then I get telekinetic shrapnelled. And it's going to be 4x because I'll be a neutral melee type. Gonna ban the Lawali because banning Lawali will free up Gario, Rolder, and even Taifu. Taifu gets walled by it. Saw someone running to Cedar with like 2, 3 Burrow. It was really nice to see. Yeah, Burrow doesn't get a whole lot of use. It does combo well with Nagais though, specifically the Chamurian combo. Because being able to have Chamurian, super fast Frond Whip, and super fast Burrow if needed is nice. Yeah, this is tough. Rolder can't hit Nagais at all. And but the problem right now is going to be Osakai. That's able to scale up without much punishment. Because what I can do here is I can. It should be a low to no speed invest Moala. So I should be able to boomerang Crystal Spikes, get Friendship, and probably take it down to like 30%. Ugh, maybe that's dreaming. Wow, it has speed invest. But I lived. Okay. You'll probably just hook Arachnite and then swap in Gazuma. Really, I should be swapping in Taifu to get Leech off hold. Yeah, even resisted, I don't live that. But I didn't have any health left. I wasn't expecting to. I needed to swap in Taifu there. But Taifu doesn't want to take a +2 hook, really. You don't have anything. Yeah, Osakai just wins. Tornado into Inner Spirit. I have nothing. This is probably why Osakai saw a lot of use in the World Tournament. It just loses against Digi teams. It's a complete dead slot. But against opposing mid range and slower teams, it absolutely wrecks. And when you have Mushuk on a team with it, your opponent has to choose which kind of rapid scaling tem that they want to deal with, and neither is a good option. Your spirit's a nuke. Yeah, it's 100% a nuke. I want to hold Leech. I didn't know if he follows up with like a C spikes. He's got toxic gas. Not a lot of people run that move on Tort, so that's unfortunate for me. And Tort's so bulky now too. You hit it with a double wind move and it doesn't even kill. Tort is the epitome of what too many stat buffs looks like in the current age. Maybe Taifu can get a critical hit on the Leech, maybe? That'd be fun. Yeah, Blizzard Tornado and Tesla. I can't even get safe retreat on Taifu. I guess I probably had to try to Epoxia the Osakai. Because then I just get hit with an Inner Spirit this way. But then I would have had to live like 2 double ends and it still would have been too much for me. Even resisted that Petrified it quite a bit. Come on, Taifu with your insane special defense, just take it. Pretend the Gazuma's not there. Can we have old Decidora back? Just for this case. Taifu survives, it's slow enough, I heal back to full with a leech from... Okay, yeah, GG. GG. The hook shrapnel turn 1 sealed it. Didn't expect me to survive it. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I'm so used to like on my Moala, I didn't even run a turn 1. Because Moala has so many moves it wants to click. Because you want to run like Transient, Zen Med, and probably Nito for sure. Then the last slot I always want like either Haito so it's usable after its trait procs, or Black Hole as a buff wiping option, and just as low prio in general. Ban the Electrotem to deny harmful synergy. I didn't even have I didn't even have microwaves on the Arachnite. It's very unfortunate that my specific nature does not have a turn one nature option to threaten. I on turn two. Turn two is when I should have. It is when I should have swapped out. Or it was just, I should have double swapped because I knew you were going to swap out Moala for Gazuma and just finish off with a hook. Should have swapped to Gario and Taifu. That would have probably been the only way I had some potential to come back. Oh, come on, not Tahone again. Tahone, stop playing as many games as I do in a day. No, Tahone plays more, actually. Yeah, on Moala. It's interesting to hear Haito over Nito, though. Because I feel like you want Nito generally more, just because of the more damage. And if you want to click... if you want to click your melee move turn 2, and you still have the potential to put your opponents to sleep, you could actually cancel out your own trait by giving your opponents alert. So that feels bad. J333W. Yeah, I mean, I tried out Osakai on my last stream, and it performed super well. I think the team definitely looks fun. Like, it looks like a solid Nagase team. I just don't have. I'm not drawn to play with the Seador much right now. I was tempted to actually try and elaborate more on the Osakai team, but the whole Nimble meme just didn't do well. It was There's no reason to run the Nimble meme when you can just run Turbo. Osakai with Turbo or speed control options is nuts. Unless you're running lots of stuff like Ukama, which you don't see anymore, Oshiara, or just Digiaggro. I wasn't looking at teams at all. Oh, Loliano's got put in there for that. Use Refresh now instead of Nimble. Yeah. It's still a fun little combo, though. For sure. Hiram, hello, welcome. Okay. I just have to take out Tort now, which is probably not going to be super easy, but then Taifu can do a lot of work. Even though Nestle's on this board turn 1, it can't do a whole lot. Waterblade probably does like 40% to my Anatan. Maybe more. Maybe I'm underestimating it. Spider more famous after Worlds. I'm just trying Spider. It's nice. It's kind of nice as a bruiser, but a lot of times it just gets doubled in and can't do a whole lot. If your opponent has advantage in their speed tiering with choosing what type to make it, then it's just so tough. It just ends up dying. And I couldn't like. It's not even gonna do a whole lot this match because there's Inky and like Nesla. Or it's swap for Momo, I guess. Yeah, there's the 40%. It's Hydrologist Nesla. That wasn't what I expected. Like a double into Rolder would kill it here. Yeah, I would be fine sacking Pig here. I just don't know what slide he's going to double. Whichever one he chooses will die. Thought about using Glass Blade on Arachnite, more damage with Sea Spikes. I don't like having to hit my own Arachnite with something. It's such a huge tempo loss. It is horrible for tempo loss. The reason the Plat had the most success with his Arachnite is because had it on a Toxin Shower core, so he was able to just use Toxin Shower, and then he doesn't lose any tempo. There's not a whole lot of moves that hit your ally. I mean, you could. I thought for a second Sanative Rain. Somebody requested that I make a Sanative Rain team, and this Sanative Rain is competing for one of the worst moves in the game. It's so bad after its nerfs. It was already bad before the nerfs. Just had a niche use install. You're not going to auto-destruct your own Arachnite. That would kill it. Extinction, doom your own Arachnite. Composure. I suppose you could Composure, but if you're not necessarily gaining tempo that way. It's more like you have to like side buff your Arachnite. So stuff like Bamboozle, getting a turbo off is nice. You actually split attacks. I guess these are the two things that are really threatening his Inky. And I guess his crystals, yeah. So he doesn't mind sacking both of those to practically take these two out of commission. Sea Dust, that doesn't do anything, but it'll finish me off after the wind move. That's a bulky tort. Tort shouldn't be able to use any toxic move into a wind move for the 2-Vine to get value. Emphasis on shouldn't. I stand corrected. He has a fast Tort and a slow 2-Vine. Why? Why is your Tortonite faster than your 2-Vine? That is insane. Did he even have any mentals for Crystal Deluge synergy? I don't think so. .200 speed Tort makes sense. So does 200 speed 2-Vine. I run 200 speed 2-Vine, so I outspeed Platymus Toxin Shower. Tort's a 201, 2-Vine's 200. Maybe, that's just so unfortunate for me. Either way, Roller getting a lot of value since he left it on the board. I was bringing Taifu. 2-Vine doesn't have Nox Bomb anymore. Yeah, GG. Back and forth wins there. I win the first round, he wins the second, I win the next. Probably just gonna do one more game today, though. I like to round it off at 10 games. It's usually a good stream that way. That's quite a few games, anyways. Got promo back. I think I'm still at like a net loss for the day. Whatever hidden TMR I would normally be at. Yeah, I don't want to have to try hard up to legend. It would be nice to have some amount of fun. I could try and just go back to my world's pig team and play that some. You know, I probably should update the meta teams and then maybe just play that for a day. That way I have a video out there for everyone to kind of understand how to play those teams, since we're still stuck in this patch for another month and a half. And then I can get my legend wins, hopefully. I don't know though. It's just, if I was to make a meta team, it would look so eerily similar to Argon's world team that would just feel like copying it, and I don't want to do that. I could add some. That's just tough. And he already shared that code with kind of like info on how to play it. So it's not like I necessarily have to. If anyone's looking for a good team to play, he posted it in squad sharing in the main Discord. It's super cool to see. So I could try and just refine pig teams further, but it feels bad to try and refine the team I used in Worlds after Worlds is over, you know? I mean, I could just wait until like the last week or so of the season to try and push up to Legend, but by then the amount of people playing dies down quite a bit. Just kind of what I'm worried about. Not being able to find matches. Feels super rough to play ladder right now. Yeah, it's because Toxic's wins and Digis are all problematic, and you have to account for each one in team building. It's feels like there's just no good solution. No, no. Well, we gained info. Power and no roar. I'm gonna ignore the Yowler. Yowler's like clinch Yowler's not scary. It's just not. Third time playing this one. I think it's only the second. I played another stall team, but that was Kunders. It was quite different, very different match. Crazy part about ladders, you're matching the same people all the time. It was the third time I faced a Hone. So it's like I definitely like more variety in my ladder matches, but it's not always an option to get that. One day's Digi Aggro, the other day's stall. Yeah. Yeah. And tournament play is so much different than ladder anyway. It's like, well, why am I not seeing Scunch on ladder? I would have expected to see Scunch everywhere. But Gallios isn't banned on ladder. So it's just like, you see Gallios and Moala, two mentals, all of a sudden Scunch is just a dead slot. Tort is scary because if it gets onto a board in a stall team with confined, you can end up where both Tems on the board are +8/+8, and you can't swap or do anything about it. People are scared of your Naga.
This is just going to be a repeat of last game. I'm going to keep Taifu in, though. Does nothing. Woohoo. Don't know why they removed Toxic Roll on Taifu. I like both of Taifu's new traits. I do. I think they're interesting. Problem is, they're both underpowered. Both of them need buffs. Buff both of Taifu's traits, and I think it's in an okay spot. Maybe Taifu enthusiasts could tell me differently, but I mean, I'm playing Taifu, and it gets quite a bit of value. I think if you want another buff to Taifu, consider changing or like nerfing toxic types as a whole. That would help. Bring back old leech? No, I don't. I like new leech. Maybe that's just me though. 168. Okay, yeah, one more is gonna kill me. Release 135%. No. No, 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 no. Let's not do that. Yeah, you know, while we're at it, we should also bring back slingshot, one Arbory slingshot. I think that would be a good idea. And for you that was playing it, that may be. That may be. Okay. You can get a boomerang leech on the Karin now. You can just ignore the Piranha for the time being. It'll probably start fluid barriering something. Ah. Itself, though, that's fine, I don't care. Karin's the problem, because it has the ability to doom. I guess if he did it on the Karin, he wouldn't have gotten his reactive vial proc. It's kind of an interesting thought. Boomerang does 0 damage. It's like 10%. Revitalize, yuck. I went to killed anyways. had to Psychosis Pig because I can clear Doom on Taifu with Bamboozle and Gaia. Hey, with New Leech, if it's not 2x, this is just a bit underwhelming. Yeah. I think this is gonna do nothing. Actually, okay, that did like 25%. That's decent. But now he just buffs up. No, he's just buffing up himself. Still. It's crazy to think that Hibernate was even stronger before. Yeah, Taifu's biggest problem is it doesn't have damage ramp. It's kind of why I like it as a partner with Windquash. Because Windquash can offer Zen Med, also buffing its special defense, sleep control, sort of stuff. It's just such a good partner for it. Buff special defense with refreshing breeze. Oh, I forgot Scavenger. That sucks. Ah, I didn't think about that. The stupid Scavenger. Kind of 50-50 where he'd bring it. I didn't even predict him to bring it though. That's the thing. I literally didn't consider the option. I'm dealing like a 1% damage every turn. Yeah, and I can't wipe that Psychosis anymore. I could side chains hit my Taifu. That's the only way. And not only is that a huge tempo loss, it's also just literally killing my Taifu. Earthbreaker doesn't inflict seized if it's not synergy. I swap to Anatan here and I try and finish off the Kaurin. He swapped and so there's no hope. Yeah, this just is not a team that has any. I don't have damage scaling. It's just, there's just too many things when you're team building that you have to account for. Like you need certain types on your team to account to build for Digis, Toxics, and Wins. Otherwise, you just lose to people who have 3+ of them. And they're common types that people do have 3+. You have to have some sort of damage ramping, or some sort of offensive scaling in order to beat stall teams. Or true damage in the form of Doom or Toxic ticks. I've seen. Yeah. And so there's just so many things that limit your options of team building, and they keep removing those options from tems. You can have control to beat stall teams as well. If like that team like with a whole bunch of 0 speed, then you can. If I had any hypnosis users or I guess you'd really need hypnosis. It has to be sleep. It's the only way to prevent stuff like that. The more you see this digi install meta, the more you want to play a WTC water cutting lily. It's just discussing his digi aggro in terms of gameplay. I mean, Toxics is so common that even that it's so hard to run. I think you either need damage scaling or defensive scaling at some point. Both is too niche in this meta unless you go full stall. Yeah. Most people, for water cutting lily, it's WCL, not WCT. Water cutting lily. That's why I just got a little confused. I think Hypno Control is the only control left in the game. Yeah, they just destroyed everything else. Yeah, it's just like some... blue screen's kind of there. I guess you're drunk. All good, all good. It's mainly there because Hypnotist is still busted. I mean, people are calling for Crystal Deluge nerfs. It's just like, we're reducing the game to just be sheer numbers rather than gameplay. And then every time I say that, people pull up with stuff that's still unique. It's like the only number that people are still allowed to vary in their matches seems to be speed. So it's with like speed control. And even people are like, we need to nerf Tesla and Turbo Flips games, which I mean it kind of does, but you know, Deluge nerfs for what? I mean, the main reason people want to nerf Deluge is because they're sick of the Waspine control teams and Tortonite. So some of the people are like, reduce its distribution, make it so that it's a Mudred signature. Maybe Zenarith can keep it as well, but even then, on Zenarith, people don't run Zenarith because it's Zenarith, they run it because it clicks Deluge. And it's just like, I don't know about that, but to some extent they have a point. I mean, they're like, well, we saw what happened when Deluge is actually on a good tem, like Schween, and it just broke the entire meta for a week. It is. I think that there's far more creative and interesting options that Crema could take to solve a lot of the issues in the game, and we're just not seeing it. And anytime I try and offer any feedback, it seems like, I mean, I get a lot of pushback from my ideas. It's just fine for people to disagree, because I'm disagreeing with other people myself. But it seems hard for us to come to a consensus. It's almost like the reason that we're seeing so many stats change, and buffed and nerfed, is because that's the only thing people can agree on. It's just like, we don't want to add anything to move pools. We don't want to change traits. We don't want to change techniques. Or, well, that's moves, but don't want to change anything else. So it's just like, well, we can just buff the tem by just giving it stats then. We don't want to change any pure mechanics. Okay, well, when was the last time somebody had a discussion on how much damage Toxic Ticks should deal? Maybe it should be 10%. Maybe it should be 9%. Or well, whatever 1.5 times Burn Tick is. Maybe Burn Tick should only be 5%. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not saying I think that those things should happen, but like maybe they're things we should discuss. Maybe we should take a wider look at the game as a whole, and then some of the things that are just consistently out overperforming. I don't know what the larger changes the toxic and wind types should get, but probably something. Um, just in case that wasn't clear, that it was going to be the last match I play for the day. I'll just stick around and kind of talk for just a little bit longer, like usual. So, if anyone was just here for the gameplay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. But yeah, I mean, toxic ticks should always deal more than regen ticks. I mean, maybe toxic ticks do 9% and regen ticks do 8%. Maybe healing's too strong. I think there's also a lot of issues in the game that stem from not having enough techniques. Because it's just like I still look at Barnshee. Barnshee hasn't been meta in any of the time that I've played the game, which is since Arbor release. It literally just hasn't seen the light of day, and even so, its main tools have gotten nerfed. Windburst, Hypoxia, Tornado, all three of those have gotten hit pretty hard, but it's because of other Tems. What like if we had more wind options that weren't nerfed, then maybe Barnshee would see more play. Like if maybe not, but it would certainly help it out. It, and instead, the move we're getting is a signature for the Zenarith and Azrak line. Balance changes off as objective no matter what game you play. It's hard if everyone would agree. It's frustrating. You might think some people are stupid because they have a totally different view than yours. This is what it is. This is why you don't debate on this kind of topic, hoping to be right. Better to do it by curiosity and not invest too much energy. Yeah, but it's just like if you genuinely want something changed, you have to put in like time and effort to like research to figure out why is this too strong? Is there something I can use to prove my point, and then share that in like the comp feedback? Because that's about the only way that we as players can have any amount of influence on the game is by having a post and comp feedback. And even a lot of the posts that have like a unanimous agreement that yes, this should be changed, and nothing ends up changing. Like, we don't even have an announcement on if the ladder system's changing at all. Like it's or just like TMR system. I mean, there was that huge long post about it, and pretty much everyone agreed, and there was research, and even that, like, we don't have word on if it's going to change or not, or when. And even if we came to it, so even if we agree as a player base, half the time Krema's like, that's too much work. And I mean, that's kind of frustrating. And I think the PvE players get the wrong end of that a lot. Because they're just like, fishing is boring. Make it more entertaining. They're like, it's already developed, and I told you it would be boring. Or, oh, Tamer's Paradise, all the activities are grindy and not rewarding. Well, they're there. And we have numbers that say that Safari is the best feather reward option, so you should play that more. It's just... Yikes. I'm hoping we get... and I mean, part of this is just why I want Mustache Man to reveal what the future of the game is going to kind of look like. Because if I can look forward to some big changes to systems like a prio, if they're at least considering changing prio to 1.25 instead of 1.5 times speed, then I'd be like, yeah, this is going to be cool. I'm glad they're at least looking into it. Maybe we can offer some feedback. Or if they're just looking into adding more moves that we don't have. I'm scared because I see what Crema has done, and I see what they're doing. Like, seeing that they're releasing 3 new moves was awesome, and then they disappoint me by showing me that a signature move for physical Zenith. Who cares? Why? Why? Is See, you're potentially making one more Tem viable. What happens if it's not viable? Well, like, because you're just trying to force like a niche that nobody asked for. Who's asking for like, I want physical Zenith to be played more? When you have so many people just crying to please just find some way to change up the Tolkien meta. Please nerf Mashuk, Gazuma. We don't even know what they're changing about them, if anything at all. 1.25 sounds pretty trash. But what it does is it actually has more of an emphasis on speed tiers and investing in speed. Right now, investing in speed it gets so much less value because prio is where all your value's at. I mean, you look at a Tem like Hazrat, the only reason it was underperforming was because it has so much of its, like, before it got Venomous Claws. The only reason it was underperforming was because it got outsped constantly with Prio. Because it's such a fast Tem, but it doesn't matter how much speed you invest, because you're just getting outsped with Prio. I guess it had Lava Wave, but, like, I don't know. Prio's just so... Even if you don't change like the actual speed tiering of Prio, I think its distribution could get looked at. My opinion is that give Prio to the Glass Cannon speedy Tems that are already fast, and remove it from a lot of the middling speed tiers where their game plan isn't to outspeed stuff. I already mentioned that in comp chat before. Think it would make overall speed invest worse, either 500 or 0 on most Tems. Slow Tems don't even consider speed. Right. It would make base speeds matter more. You would see a Tem like Inky and be like, I have to be scared of this thing, rather than the only reason Inky's even scary right now is because of Shelllant. It feels like. Every other speed and influencing move would have to be looked at. Yeah, I mean, it would be a huge system change. It's just... They said that they're going to change some sort of fundamental system. Or no, they didn't say it. They said they're going to shake things up after Worlds. That's what they said. And we have no idea what that's going to be. It's just going to be a Tolkien nerf? Is that it? What does shake things up mean? I want to know. Hey Hazarov, we're kind of just in the ending discussion part of the stream. Not going to play any more matches today. Listening to many opinions, it feels like the main issue comes from lack of testing and knowledge from the devs and how the game plays in comp. Showdown public test server, they could have way more tools to but they... Yeah, but also if you have like a beta test server with this small of a player base, you're not going to have a whole lot of people that even play on the main Temtem game anymore. Future Temtem JPEG on Twitter. 2 page the balance changes or riot. So you can queue. Hey, like Q, you're also kind of showing up at the end. We're just kind of discussing some stuff. I already played 10 matches today. Tolkien's overrated. In a general sense, yeah, like Tolkien is overrated. But when you compare it to other fires, it's like top tier, and it has been. Problem, other fires just can't compare to Tolkien, and that's the issue. So you either have to look at Tolkien or you have to look at every other fire. Yeah, that's what you just said. But how would you buff other fires? Make them less synergy reliant? Would you add another move? I know a while ago I was like, maybe maybe a fire move that's maybe have like a 120 base power fire move, zero hold, that lowers your attack after you use it once. So you can either use it as a finisher and have like a stronger attack, or you can use it to nuke turn one, and then afterwards it kind of falls off. I don't know. I agree. A lot of other fires are horrible. I don't know what you would do to fix them. The pure, a lot of them are synergy reliant, and so you're required to run fires with either neutrals or waters for Lava Wave or Quetzal. So it's like we need a new viable zero hold fire move. Or we need to give fires more coverage. Like something like Capire, yeah, it has base jump. It's just base jump only does so much. Half the time you'd still rather click a resisted Quetzal and maybe have like Embers in as your fourth slot option so you can have burn support rather than run base jump. Like Raiken runs Held Anger, but then you don't have a neutral hitting move until turn 4. Synergy from Quetzal and make it 3 prio. And that'd be a solution. It would definitely help Aohi, Raiken, and Capire for sure. But it doesn't make the game more interesting. It's just it. I can't even say if that would really help. I suppose it would. We'd probably see a lot more Raikens. Still don't know if it would make Capire better though. It's tough. I mean, we'll see what the other moves they have are. If it's going to be like a couple more garbage signature moves or pedal dagger types that don't actually fill a niche, like sure, Saku has pedal dagger. I mean, that's kind of cool. It's like Saku can click a turn one that's not Sharp Leaf. But at the same time, why are they spending so many resources trying to make Sharp Leaf viable? Like they added another 7 BP to Sharp Leaf last, like in the mid-season patch, and they have Slingshot, which is practically reworked just for Sharp Leaf. Love seeing people complain about too much prio, then see stuff like this suggested. I know, like that's kind of well, that's kind of the issue, is that without a large systematic change, prio is just what makes Tems good right now. So that's probably why it's suggested. I should have a hold move that has prio or something. Yeah, like a fire aquatic whirlwind. You don't know what's worse, adding low impact moves or high impact moves to break the game again. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. It's like I think a lot about stuff, but it's like every time I come up with something, it's just like, well, it has this issue and that issue. It's like you have to build on the game in its current state or rebuild it from the ground up, and Crema isn't rebuilding it, and it would take far too many resources to do that. So it's just like it's like we're stuck with what we have. So it's almost it's I don't know. I mean, I got hope still. It's not like I'm completely hopeless on the game. I'm still excited for what they're gonna do. I just want to know. It's the weekend now, so as soon as we'd even potentially hear is Monday, but I feel like Suki's a little bit forgetful. Responds to me, oh, I'll pass it on to Mustache Man. Oh, I forgot. Oh, weird how Quetzal compares to Lava Wave balance-wise. Both are so similar to the point if you buff one, it'd be strictly better than the other at some point. Lava Wave synergy inflicts a status, seized. In Quetzal, you have slightly higher damage. Plus, it allows, like in its current state, you're able to kind of choose which synergy you want. If you have two waters, then probably throwing a lava wave user is better. If you have two neutrals, then yeah, throwing a Quetzal user is better. But neutrals aren't nearly as splashable as they used to be. It's like has every single neutral gotten nerfed? And like since Arbury? Maybe like almost every single Tem in the game has, but like Tattler received multiple nerfs. Scunch got nerfed, but okay, Scunch got rebuffed, so it's basically in the same spot it used to be. Same as Move Flank, got nerfed and then it's back where it used to be. Goring's still a little bit underpowered. Rolder's much weaker than it used to be. Valash, where do we even consider where Valash? Jack of all trades, and then got nerfed, but now Madness buff is only 25%. No, that one's hard to say. It's just kind of like a. I thought it was interesting. Momo's been nerfed so many times. Yowler, Winter's. We had the whole Warm Blooded change. And then nerfs afterwards. It still feels strong though. Hibernate getting gutted. Venk's nerfs. Aggressor and Spiritual nerfs. Arachnite. Okay. Arachnite has basically only seen buffs, and yet even so, Cozy Net was nerfed. Understandably so. 3 turns of sleep is too much. Yeah, there was a roller coaster of balance. Yeah. I don't know. They took the whole balance wish list too, and they never really got back to us. It's I don't think a single person in the balance wish list asked for a physical signature move for Zenarith. If there was, I missed it. We saw a lot of ideas. I'd say about 30% to 40% I think were viable and good ideas. The rest maybe should be considered more before implementing, if at all. And but like, we never got any word back on anything that's like, this is a good idea, we'll consider it. We don't get feedback like that. There was a little bit of time where they gave us the little emojis on the feedback posts. So we would be able to know that yes, they read through this, or yes, they agreed, or they might do something similar. But then they just stopped doing that after like 2 weeks. I think that was one of the better things that they had going. So it was sad to see that stop. I feel like feedback's just so important. I hope this new game that they're working on is worth it. Because otherwise they've been putting us all through a lot of frustration for nothing. Temp Trainer and Q Angel used to take feedback into consideration. Now they have nothing to say on. Well, I mean, Q Angel, he's not even working on Temtem anymore. We don't even know if he's working for Crema anymore. So it's... yeah. We don't really know who's in charge of Mustache Man right now. Lots of people are saying Suki is. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of it. I don't really have much else to say. We could just talk about stuff, kind of complain back and forth about this, that, or the other. That's just kind of a bit negative. I'm glad to see a lot of players have stuck around. We actually had relatively quick queues today. We only had one queue that was like 7 minutes. And that wasn't even as bad as it was pre-Worlds. I think Worlds kept a lot of interest in the game. Still have a bit longer in this patch than I'd hoped for, but once the patch is over, we should have some good stuff coming. So, club also gained some new members. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be all from me today. I no guarantees on a stream tomorrow. If I do, it might be Dragon Quest, just because I'm really interested in trying out PvP just a bit more. PvP in the game is pretty interesting. I think once I get a better team, it might go better than it did with the first try. It also might not, but I want to give it another try. Either way, I'm still planning on that speed tiering video, and yeah, like I said, I got thumbnails on all my YouTube videos better, so hopefully y'all like that. Should be a little clearer now. If anyone else has any like feedback for me, I'm definitely welcome to it. Still trying to improve little things here and there. It's just a lot of stuff takes work and time, so it's just kind of like a gradual changes here and there. So, like the in-depth guides, yeah. I mean, I know they're a great resource. It's just uh, guides are something that's just like it's not necessarily fun to make a guide, but I know that it's super useful and that you all like it. So it's more of something that I can advance my like content creator status with. But mostly y'all just like Temtem rather than me as a creator. So it's just kind of like I'm glad to help you guys out sometimes for sure, but it's not going to be a common thing because it's not the most fun to just sit down and look at and just build a generic build for like 10 Temtem. It's a lot easier for me to enjoy just playing games and discussing with y'all. So no, but I'll continue. I'll definitely at least finish out the series at some point. Maybe I'll get another one before that we get the next patch, or maybe I'll wait till the next patch just so that it's slightly more updated. So, all right, thank you everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.